I want to know when this town is going to give a damn about Americans. And that's what this is really about. Well, there's one thing I know. There's one thing I know. If we get President Trump back in the White House in January of 2025, and we are lucky enough to earn the trust again from voters in America to have a Republican majority in this House of Representatives, we have a job to do. We cannot let people down again. We cannot fail President Trump. And this cannot happen. The MAGA agenda that I believe in, the Make America Great Again agenda that I support and Americans support, and the whole reason why Republicans are going to turn out and vote in November because they support President Trump. We have a speaker, Mike Johnson, that we all, by the way, I elected him. I voted for that man. So I have every right to be standing here. It wasn't a choice of America. It was a choice within our Republican conference. And I voted for Mike Johnson because his voting record before he became speaker was conservative. He voted against funding Ukraine. He was solidly pro-life. He voted to secure the border. He voted to fight against Democrats, fight against the witch hunt against President Trump. But once he became speaker, he has become a man that none of us recognize. So I entered a motion to vacate, but I didn't call it for a vote. I was controlled. I was responsible. I was being conscious and caring about my conference and our majority. It was a warning to stop serving the Democrats and support our Republican conference and support our agenda. And he didn't do it. And you want to know something? Nobody wants to rock the boat in Washington, D.C. Oh, no. That would be uncomfortable, Marjorie. We don't want to face the issues, Marjorie. Let's just wait and get through the election, Marjorie. Let's just assume President Trump is going to win, and we'll fix it next Congress, Marjorie. Mike Johnson is not capable of that job. He has proven it over and over again. Now we have Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats coming out, embracing Mike Johnson with a warm hug and a big, wet, sloppy kiss. And they are ready to, they have endorsed him. They are ready to support him as speaker. They want to keep it going, keep the band together. Why? Because Mike Johnson is giving them everything they want. And so next week, I am going to be calling this motion to vacate. Absolutely calling it. I can't wait to see Democrats go out and support a Republican speaker and have to go home to their primaries and have to run for Congress again, having supported a Republican speaker, a Christian conservative. I think that'll play well. I'm excited about it. And I also can't wait to see my Republican conference show their cards and show who we are, because voters deserve it.
Well, let's be honest. We have Mike Johnson because nobody hated Mike Johnson. Okay. There was nothing in his prior life, or political or private, that qualified him for this job. He is a lost ball in tall weeds. He is unequipped to negotiate with Chuck Schumer. And a lot of people have ideas about why he's betrayed us. I think it's just pretty simple. He's over his head. And so I would say there are at least a dozen members of our conference who either politically or privately have done things in their life that qualify them to lead, and I'd be willing to consider any of them. And we don't have a list.
What I'm calling on is, like my colleague here said, Mike Johnson can do some really, he can pray about it, think about it all weekend, do the right thing, and resign, giving our conference time to elect a new leader, a new speaker of the House. He should reject the endorsement of Hakeem Jeffries and the entire Democrat leadership team. That is not an endorsement that any Republican speaker should ever want or embrace. And this vote will be called next week. And I would just want to urge all our colleagues to prepare for it. It's the right thing to do for America. It's time to clean house and get our conference in order and get ready to support President Trump's agenda. God willing, he wins in November and we take back full power here in Washington in January. Thank you very much, everyone.
Oh, yeah. Perfect time. Front row.
What is your response to Republicans who say this move should cost you your job and that if you don't resign, they will try to oust you?
I am not resigning, and it is, in my view, an absurd notion that someone would bring a vacate motion when we are simply here trying to do our jobs. It is not helpful to the cause. It is not helpful to the country. It does not help the House Republicans advance our agenda, which is in the best interest of the American people here, a secure border, sound governance, and it's not helpful to the unity that we have in the body. Look, we have a very important mission here. Our mission is very clear. The reason most of us, I can speak for the House Republicans, the reason every House Republican ran for Congress is that because they wanted to come here and help to save this beleaguered republic of ours. We want to save the country. We believe that we're in an existential moment. We really do. This is a civilizational moment. It's a moment where we're going to decide in this election cycle which vision we have for the country. We have to have a united front, and we have to have our members work together. And we'll be working today to do that very thing. Look, we are in unprecedented times. Okay, we're in dangerous times, as has been articulated here, around the world, and here at home. We need steady leadership. We need steady hands at the wheel. Look, I regard myself as a wartime speaker. I mean, in a literal sense, we are. I knew that when I took the gavel. I didn't anticipate that this would be an easy path. Former Speaker Newt Gingrich posted a couple days ago on his social media that this is the hardest challenge that's faced a speaker probably in the history of the country, in the moment that we're in right now. He said, arguably, maybe comparable to the Civil War, but maybe worse. A single vote margin at a difficult time when the nation is terribly divided. The way we get through that is we show unity and we explain how we have answers to all these great challenges. We have those answers. We shouldn't get in the way of ourselves. We're gonna work this out today, and we'll have a lot more comment for you today, for you later. But I'm going to tell you that I am not concerned about this. I am going to do my job, and I think that's what the American people expect of us. Thanks so much.
Is it calling their bluff, Mr. Speaker?